Marhaba wa ahla wa fikum. I hope you're all well and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Welcome to part 2 of the comparative and the superlative in Levantine Arabic. Previously we talked about how to conjugate first the comparative out of a standard adjective. If you haven't managed to watch the first tutorial on how to conjugate the comparative out of a standard adjective, then please pause the video, go and watch that tutorial first, then come back again to watch this. Assume you have done, welcome back. So we have conjugated the comparative out of the single adjective, which by deleting the letter ya, then you add an alif to the beginning of it and end up with min, which means than. So we went ahead and conjugated the comparative out of those adjectives, and we ended up with akbar min, ajdad min, aqdam min, a'rad min, atwal min, asghar min, ajmal min, as'ad min. And to remind you, this was the form for the comparative. Af'al min, akbar min. So if we have a look at it back again, af'al min, ajdad min. So every letter colored here corresponds to the letters in the adjective. So the alif stands for the alif, and the f or the fa stands for the jim, the ain stands for the dal, and the l stands for the dal, and min stands for min. Again, this is a pattern, this is a form. It does not mean anything, but it helps us how to measure and how to conjugate other forms out of the current one. Then in Arabic they say if you want to make the superlative, all you need to do is to add an L to the beginning of the comparative, plus you delete min because you're no longer comparing between two parties. You're actually saying, well, this thing or person is the best. So we're no longer comparing between two. Then you are going to delete min from the end of it. Let's have a look at this again. The same. You delete min and add L to the beginning of it. So ajdad becomes il ajdad. Ajdad becomes il ajdad. And as simple as that, that is the superlative. So all you need to do is just to add il to the beginning of the comparative adjective, and you ended up with the superlative. But as I mentioned, remember to delete min because you're no longer comparing. Great. Let's have a look at these comparative forms again. Akbar min, altaf min, aqdam min, a'rad min, atwal min, asghar min, ajmal min, as'ad min. Before I move and give you the conjugation for the superlative for these comparatives, how about you give it a try? I'll pause and I'll wait for you. You give it a try and then I'll continue. Great. Assume you gave it a try. Let's have a look whether you got it right or not. Akbar becomes il akbar, altaf min, الألطف أقدم من الأقدم أعرض من الأعرض أطول من الأطول أصغر من الأصغر أجمل من الأجمل أسعد من الأسعد. Let me remind you again what we did here. First, we added the definite article to akbar, which is the comparative form. Then we deleted min, and simple as that, we ended up with a superlative. And that's how it works. Great. And let's have a look at a couple of examples for you. دمشق أقدم عاصمة مأهولة بالعالم. دمشق أقدم عاصمة مأهولة بالعالم. Okay, now here we need to talk. First, can you spot the superlative? Give it a try. No? Well, here it is. That's the superlative. You might say, well, where is the definite article? Shouldn't it be el-aqdam? You don't need to add the definite article being the oldest, as long as we've got one party we're talking about. So you don't have to say Dimashq el-aqdam. Damascus is the oldest. عاصمة مأهولة بالعالم. All you need to do is just say Dimashq aqdam and not follow up with min, because otherwise you ended up with a comparative. So you could say دمشق أقدم عاصمة مأهولة بالعالم. دمشق أقدم عاصمة مأهولة بالعالم, which means Damascus is the oldest inhabited capital in the world. Check that out. لندن أكبر مدينة في بريطانيا. London is the largest city in the UK. Okay, again, similarly to here, because you've got one party and you're not comparing, so you don't have to add the definite article to the adjective, and you could just keep it akbar, and it means biggest. It does not mean bigger, because if it's bigger, then you have to add min after akbar. فنلندا أسعد بلد في العالم حسب التقرير. فنلندا أسعد بلد في العالم حسب التقرير. Finland is the happiest country in the world according to the report. هي أطول شجرة عيد ميلاد اشتريناها. هي أطول شجرة عيد ميلاد اشتريناها. This is the tallest Christmas tree we bought. We bought it. And the ha belongs to the tree. أحمد هو أصغر واحد بالعائلة. أحمد هو أصغر واحد بالعائلة. Ahmad is the youngest one in the family. Great. And with that, I'll end today's tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, found it helpful. And now you know how to make the superlative out of the comparative, and obviously how to make the comparative out of a single adjective. In our next session, we'll be looking at some of these irregular adjectives and how to make the comparative and the superlative. I'll try to break it down and simplify it. Hopefully you understand and be able to follow. Thank you very much again. Till next time, stay safe. مع السلامة.